Before we get into today's episode, I want to take a second to shout out one of our main sponsors for this season. And this one is very, very special to me. Luigi's Pizza Fresca. If you know, you know. Also known as home of the blue pizza. I grew up in their Marlton location on Old Marlton Pike, so getting to partner with them for this podcast honestly feels like such a full circle moment. And beyond the nostalgia, their food is unreal. Okay? We're talking fresh pizza, fresh pasta, classic Italian dishes, the kind of food that just hits every single time. And if you're planning literally any kind of event, weddings, bridal showers, birthdays, even a random Friday night with some friends, their catering is elite. Stress-free, crowd-pleasing, everyone asking, wait, where is this from again? Kind of good. They're also open 7 days a week, which makes it even easier when you're planning ahead or needing something last minute. If you want to check them out or book catering, you can call their Marlton location at 856-810-8888, located on Old Marlton Pike in Marlton, New Jersey. Trust me on this one. Luigi's Pizza Fresca, home of the blue pizza. Today I'm joined by Cate, who is an insanely talented hair and makeup artist based out of Denver, Colorado. Cate is one of those artists who just gets it. She creates beautiful work for brides, but she's also really honest about the reality of this industry. The hustle, the growth, the behind the scenes chaos that people don't always see. And that's exactly why I wanted her to come on this podcast. Because from the outside, the beauty industry can look really glamorous, but the people inside it know that there's a lot more to that story. So today we're going to talk about her journey, what it's really like working in bridal, the pressure that comes with this industry, and everything in between. Cate, welcome to Pinned Up and Burnt Out.
I'm Cate of Cate Hair and Makeup. I'm a bridal hair and makeup artist here in Denver, Colorado, but I do travel all over the state as well. My style is very refined, polished, romantic. I pull a lot of my inspo from Europe. I really love those kinds of more timeless classic styles. Think high shine, think refined, elevated, and elegant.
And how long have you actually been doing hair and makeup?
Yeah, I got licensed all the way back in 2013 for cosmetology and then pretty quickly added makeup on after that. I worked in the salon world for a little under a year and realized that that was just not for me. I absolutely hated cutting and coloring. It was so scary.
Same,
It
same.
was
The
so
anxiety
scary.
that comes out of that when you're like
Yeah.
put on
And
the
so I
spot.
knew I wanted to find something less intense, less committing. And I kind of just wandered into the bridal hair and makeup world. I started in commercial work and I was doing hair and makeup for like print and ad companies. And that was fine, but it was a lot of like hurry up and wait. And I just didn't love that. And then, yeah, I stumbled into bridal. And I just absolutely fell in love. I realized this is what I'm supposed to do, and I just went 100% all in pretty quickly. So yeah, I've been in the hair and makeup world for, gosh, 13 years now, but in bridal 12. And it's just kind of exploded from there.
That's awesome. So I feel like we kind of might have similar stories then as far as like being in the salon world like for a little bit and then very quickly realizing that it's not what you want to do. I was in the salon
No.
world, like full service salon world for all of like 2 months. And
Wow.
I didn't realize like I went into cosmetology school right after high school. I opted not to go to college. I had a couple scholarships to go for sports and stuff like that, but it just wasn't, that's not where my passion was. So when I went to cosmetology school, everyone was like, "Oh, you're getting your license, you're getting your permit, you need to go and like get a job in a salon." And the salon that I worked in was great. I just didn't realize that it was like high school 2.0 and everyone was going to be very
Hmm.
picky and judgy, and it was just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, definitely figured that out very quickly. Because, like you said, like you're kind of pushed into the salon world when you go to cause, and that's like kind of the only route that they talked about in my school. And I went to like the hoity-toity fancy school in my town. There's like the smaller ones and then the fancier ones. And I know everyone always said this to me, but like, don't go to the fancy ones. They're
Yeah.
not worth it. And I agree so much. But yeah, there was no like, oh, you can do all of these different things. Like I had no idea that being in bridal was even a job, like a full-time position.
Yeah.
Even when I salon hopped a couple times before I eventually decided it wasn't for me because I thought it was the salon, I thought it was the people. I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I would like it if it was a different area of town or I had different colleagues
Mhm.
or I got better at my craft or things like that. And when I did switch to bridal, I remember the salon owner telling me that I was going to be back in a month, that I wasn't going to make any money. No one pays that much for hair styling. Like that this is stupid. Like I'm a stupid little kid for thinking that I could do
American
this.
dream for literally just dreaming big and, being
Yeah.
outside of that mold of what they're kind of creating in these cos schools, which is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many routes. I mean, I even tried commercial. I have a couple friends who do like mortuary work. So like there
Oh,
is so
wow.
many like other routes that you can go that have nothing to do with being in a stylist role. So I just find them that the schooling really lets us down on that by basically saying like you have to do everything. You have to do a perm, you have to do a facial, you have to do nails, and you have to do it at a salon. And it's like that's just not the case anymore.
Mm. And I don't know at your like cosmetology school, but at mine, they didn't teach like how to cut men's hair hardly at all. They taught us like
Oh,
they taught us like two men's cuts and that was it. It was like what was required on state board at the time. And
sure.
it was like when we were on the clinic floor, we were doing all of these things with instructors helping us. But then once like we got these jobs where clients were coming in, we're like,
Oh
oh,
my gosh.
cool. Now I actually have to do a fade and I don't know how to do that. It's like
Oh
I
my God,
I
I
was
know.
never good at like hair cutting or coloring. Like I was good at it on paper, right? Like I knew the
Sure.
skill. I physically knew how to do it, but it just brought me so much stress. And people always
Stress.
thought it was so funny that I ended up going into bridal because they're like, "Well, I look at an updo," and I'm like, "I don't even know where to begin." So there were
Yeah.
a lot of people in my class on the clinic floor when I was in school that like the prom girls would come in, or there were even brides that would come in and be like, I just don't want to spend a ton of money, but like I want my hair up and it's something that I can't do myself. Like I was taking every single one of them because
Ah, that's
I
so fun.
wanted all of the practice. And I look back now and I'm like, some of those styles were really not great, but like it was a good stepping stone, and like putting myself out there and getting comfortable with that type of clientele. But for you, was there like a moment where you, whether it was while you were in the salon or even after that, where you were like, wow, I could really make a career out of this?
Yeah. So after I graduated beauty school and I went to the salon world, like I said, couldn't figure out the cuts and colors, and I really didn't like that world. So I decided to go back to college because I thought that I had made the wrong career move. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll like sign up for some online schooling and I'll just kind of like figure this out. And so while I was in there in my online program, I still needed a job. So I got a job
Yeah.
at one of the blow dry bars in town because I was like, okay, that'll
Okay.
be easy. That'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
steady work and it's just like the fun part of doing hair. And that is when it all clicked. Within like 2 months I quit school. I was like, okay, no, like this is what I'm supposed to do. This is
Yeah.
like I loved doing blowouts. I was getting a lot of updo styling. I was able to start building my makeup career and like seeing other people doing what I wanted to do was really nice too. Like I was
Yeah.
able to be around other people who were building similar brands, even if they were doing it under other people or like through the salon world, like they still didn't cut, they didn't color, the salon
Yeah.
didn't
A
cut, didn't
different
color.
community.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this part. Like this is a whole subculture of the salon world. And so I stayed in a blowout bar for like 5 years. I ended up working my way up to a manager position and I started getting weddings like contacting me on the side because I was just like posting stuff on Instagram kind of casually. back in that day when Instagram was casual. And so I would
Yeah.
get some inquiries over there. And that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, I could be making so much more money if I'm not at the salon, if I'm traveling to these people and doing their hair and makeup. So yeah, that's when it flipped for me when I realized at the blow dry bar that I don't have to cut and color just to make a living.
Yeah, because people don't realize too, like when you work in something as specific as bridal, it's not like you have like a Monday through Friday book where people are coming in for cuts and color and all these things. Like you don't have returning clients. Like you may have
Yeah.
like a bride that refers you to someone else and you might get to do their hair again, like, this time they're a bridesmaid in that wedding. But outside of that, like you don't really have returning like clients. So I think a lot of
Hmm.
people like when they hear things about bridal, they're like, "Oh, well, like how did you make that work?" Because it's so different in like the
So
normal
different.
salon world. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's
what?
no booking on the way out again. Like that's
No.
it. I finish a bride and I never see her again. And that's
Yeah. And
sometimes a little heartbreaking.
yeah, especially when you're so invested too. Like I stay on location with a lot of my clients for like extended touch-ups and stuff like that. Um, And being on location for that long with somebody, I had a bride last year. She actually came on season one, to talk with me, but I was with her for 12 hours. By the end of
Hmm.
it, she was literally getting ready to go marry her future husband. And she looked at me and she was like, I guess we say goodbye now. I love you and I think we're connected forever. And like I've never like related to anything so much in my life because I'm like if I say that to these people, I'm gonna sound like a weirdo, right? But
Totally.
we take it so seriously and it's such a big moment that like we don't take that responsibility lightly, you know?
Hmm.
So I will say, like, I've been lucky enough to stay in touch with a lot of my clients and past brides. So I feel like I'm always kind of still in the know with what's going on with them,
I
which is
know. I'm like
nice.
every time
But
a baby pops up, I'm like, hello,
yeah,
hi.
yeah. But like more often than not, like you said, we see them their wedding day and then we hope we get their wedding gallery. It's like
Yeah.
we don't know how it ends. We just hope for the best.
It's
Um,
so crazy thinking about it that way. I try not to get in the feels too much.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's a very like emotional um atmosphere to be in. And it's
Yeah,
so much is
whiplash.
going on. There's so many moving parts, like the good, the bad, the in between, But working with brides is such a high touch thing. What made you want to work specifically with brides? Like was there one thing that really drew you into working with brides?
Yeah, so I started, like I said, in commercial, and I, for some reason, got into the world of skincare commercial lines. So I ended up working with a lot of different skincare, like commercials and ad campaigns and things like that. So it was just no makeup, makeup
Mm,
every single day, which does get a little boring. I was able to branch out to children, which is again, no makeup, makeup, and men, which is again, no makeup, makeup. So when I started getting these bridal requests on the side, it was so exciting to me because it's just pretty makeup all the time. Like I just get to do pretty hair, pretty makeup on pretty girls on the prettiest day of their life. Like
yeah.
it's so like wonderful to make people see the beauty that they have in them and just like amplify it so that way everyone can see it and they can feel so good. Everyone's just in a good mood. Like there's no hurry up and wait and then just hang out for a bit. Like it's just a really wonderful day all in all. Like everyone's in a good mood. So I love that part of it. And that's when I think it really clicked for me, knowing that it was bridal was the move.
Yeah. So for you, like obviously every vendor is very familiar with like the behind the scenes of a wedding morning, but how do wedding mornings typically play out for you? Like for you, if you're on location by yourself, like talk about that morning a little bit and like how you would have that morning structured.
Yeah, so my minimum is actually just bridal hair and makeup. And then I can handle up to 6 services. So that'd be bride plus two. hair and makeup for everybody. I like to have everything pretty finalized early. I usually will do like a last call at 4 months so I can really get a good idea and start structuring my day. That typically entails reaching out to photographer, planner, coordinator, anyone else on the team, so that way we can all be in alignment on wedding day. I think that's really important. I'm sure we've all seen the hair and makeup artist always running late, and the photographer is there early and is pushing everyone along. And so
Organized
I
chaos.
just it's so chaotic. So I
Yeah.
just like making sure that everyone is aware of what my timeline is and like what I've discussed with bride or discussed with planner to make sure that we're all on the same page. So that way, if there are any overlaps, that they can be resolved prior to being there on wedding morning. Because I think that those can get really, really stressful. And early in my career, I did not do that. And there was plenty of times where things got overlooked and overlapped, and bride needed to be ready and done by a set time, but I didn't know that time. And I really try to eliminate that kind of stuff even before getting there. Wedding morning, I'm a 30-minute setup kind of a girly. I want to lay out every single product, get all my lights, my table, my chair, everything, so I am
And
ready
if
to
you have two
go.
kids too, that's a lot to
It's a lot. And then
yeah.
I carry a chair, a table, lighting. I have two
This is why we charge a
makeup lights.
travel fee, people. Like, people don't understand that.
It's
Like,
so much. Like on my
we're like
wagon, I take it
breaking our
everywhere.
backs trying to get all this stuff to the car and in the
Everything's on wheels,
hotels and
girl. I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, so then I typically book my brides for 2 hours and then any guests for an hour and a half. And then I personally stay for 2 hours after I finish
Okay.
hair and makeup. So that way I can put in their veil after they get dressed, or if they have, a note from their husband and it makes them tear up, or they do their first look and a couple cries or a couple tears fall
Yeah.
down. I'm there to touch up. I think it's really important, especially being an MUA, to ensure that like you look good the moment you walk down the aisle, not like the moment I left. So I am usually standing there until the bride leaves for the aisle. So that's super exciting because then I do have a little bit of downtime to sit, clean my kit, eat some food, and then make sure that they're ready to go before they leave, pin their veil, whatever other details that I feel like sometimes just get missed, especially if they don't have a day up coordinator. I like to be there with my Tide to Go stick ready to go.
Yeah. It's so funny like how we end up becoming like the like on-call person for the bride, like the morning of. Like you
hmm
know something, I got you. You need me to
Yeah,
like help you put your shoes on. You can't get like I've had brides ask me to help them with everything.
sure. I'm zipping up brides once a week,
Yeah,
zipping them
no,
up.
for real, for real. One thing I wanted to talk about to kind of shift gears a little bit is your Instagram is phenomenal. Like
Ah,
literally
thanks.
phenomenal, okay? It is like so aesthetically pleasing. It is just like it's color coded. It's like everything that I want to be able to do with my page. And being a single mom, like I am mostly editing things and like making posts and scheduling them at like midnight because that's when
hmm
I have downtime.
hmm
So when did you start taking social media like more seriously, I guess, and really like diving into that? Because I feel like that would be helpful to hear for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
myself included, because you watched me try to set up this Zoom call earlier, and that was tough. So, for maybe the people that aren't as tech savvy, like what would you suggest? Like from the visual side of things, like when you're starting to post on Instagram and all of that, like any
Yeah.
tips or tricks, anything like that?
Sure. Okay. So yeah, circle back to your first question. So I started taking Instagram seriously. I am trying so hard on TikTok, but they just don't like me over there, and that's okay.
The
So
algorithm.
Instagram. Maybe one day I'll have some more time and I can really sit down and learn it all. But Instagram is where I get majority of my clientele, which I think is super helpful to understand. At this point, I've been in the industry for 12 years. So I do have this skill set, but I also have the vendor referrals. I also have high rankings on Google and I've done all the SEO to do that as well. So once I got to that point, I kind of looked at like, okay, what's next? Like, how do I level up from here? And that was my social media. I would say I started taking it seriously about a year and a half ago. So prior to that, I was definitely just like, loved glamming Brie. And like it would just be a photo that I took of the back of her head that she didn't even know I took, or, the photo that I got back from the gallery that was the group shot. And that was kind of all I would post, maybe once a week if we were lucky. I had about 1,000 followers that I curated over probably about a decade. So it wasn't anything to scoff at, but I definitely didn't have like the look that I have now. I started taking it seriously in October of 2024, November of 2024, one or the other. And that's when I started learning how the algorithm works and learning how to create viral videos. I hit my very first viral video in March of 2025, and that has a little over 1 million views now, so that's pretty cool.
Gosh.
That was super fun. And so from there, it just kind of took off. And then it's just like a fun little game I get to play every day of like, will this go
Yeah.
viral or will it not? Um, and so for me, at least, is like a viral video, I'd say is anything over 1 million views. So I have 4 videos that are over 1 million and then one that's over 4 million. So that's so crazy. So crazy that 4 million people have seen my work. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Still can't fathom that that many people even care to look for a few seconds. So that's been super fun. I still try to like do videos that go viral, but learning the algorithm, you start to learn not every video is supposed to go viral, that some videos are supposed to nurture your current audience and some videos are supposed to get you reach to newer faces. And so now my goal is not always to hit a viral million view video, but I do still throw those in there every now and again, which is fun. As far as the aesthetics go, that is my girl, Nicole. She did all of my branding this past summer. So she is a branding specialist that I hired. She created all of the colors, the fonts, like the whole, um, all my logos. I mean, everything that you see that's like aesthetic is from her. So I paid her. She gave me a huge, basically personality test, which was so fun, but like for my business. And so she was super wonderful. She gave me a couple revisions and yeah, she helped me pick out everything that aligned with me, my branding and where I want my future to go. And then it was up to me to, apply it. Or you could pay anyone to do anything, but if you're not going to use it, it's kind of worthless. So that's where I go in and make sure, all my fonts are the same and my logos and the aesthetic of like the photos that I take of my clients and the styles that I want to post for the videos and the carousels. I'm a Canva girly. I'm a DIYer.
I was
Everything that
gonna
you've
ask if
ever
it was
seen
through
is
Canva.
Canva.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, every carousel, every story, everything that you've ever seen on my Instagram page was back here, me doing Canva at this desk.
Yeah. Yeah, and people don't realize it is a full-time job. Like social media
Yeah.
in itself truly is a full-time job. So
Hmm.
how do you balance like obviously taking brides and having like a booked business, but then also making time for social media, especially during peak season? Like how do you balance the two?
A lot of it is I take a lot less brides now. I used to take over 300 brides a year. Now I take 40. So that's cleared up a lot of time.
That is a lot. Yeah, that
That
is
is
a
insane. I know it was
lot.
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But I like to think of it as if someone were to pay you double what you currently make, how much more would you do for them? Let's say Taylor Swift inquired for bridal hair.
Mhm.
What would you do extra for her and what would you charge
Yeah.
her for? And try to do that on every single client. Every single client should be a celebrity in that case. And that will just allow you to charge more because you're offering a better service. You're offering, you would not leave, you would make sure she had the blowout in the morning. You would stay to put her veil in. You'd make sure that you buckled her shoe. You would make sure to do all that if it was Taylor Swift's wedding. So when I changed my mindset of providing a luxury service for my everyday clientele, it really was able to offer me a lot more time back, which of course then I just spent doing other things, which is now social media.
Sure.
But as far as like planning through peak season, since I only do 40 weddings a year now, I don't have like a crazy busy season anymore. I mean, I used to have like no days off from like August to like October. And now like I do still have majority of my weddings during those months, but I have a lot more time during the week to plan and edit content. Because like you said, it's a full-time job. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I wish I could do all of this, but it's just so much work." And it's like
Mm,
it is still as much work, even when you look at me and like I'm posting almost every single day. I try to post 120 pieces of content every single month. That's a full-time job.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm creating it all by hand. I don't have a social media agency or anything, so I am doing it myself. But yeah, you do have to schedule it in. I work on a 4-month turnaround, so I basically do a week of research, a week of planning, 2 weeks of filming, 2 weeks of editing, and then it starts back over again. So that way, by the time I'm like researching and planning out my content, I am already posting what I made last week, 2 weeks ago.
So smart. Well,
So
I
it's
think
just like
that's
a
the
continuous
way.
flow.
Yeah. So I think that's like for a lot of people, it's hard to like get into that flow. I think like that's something that definitely like trips me up, like on the social media side of things, is like I can post everything that I have. Like I have beautiful photos of updos, glam waves, you name it, it's there. But not everything, like as the artist, you're your biggest critic. So you see
Hmm.
one hair out of place, you're like, oh my God, I can't post that. And it's like I had to get
Yeah,
myself out of that mindset, and kind of shift my focus a little bit to, okay, well, how could I, position my bride differently so I'm getting better lighting? How do I, position my bride as I'm taking the photo to make sure that it's like, an aesthetic angle? It's not, and on my page, I feel like I try, since I don't offer any makeup services, I typically don't take photos of my clients from the front. Unless it's a case where like, I'm tagging the makeup artist, whatever it is, or if it's like a gallery photo. But for the most part, I try to take photos like just from the back because I feel like so many people, and I'm sure this happens with you too, so many people will sit in my chair and they show me a photo of someone that either has like 4 packs of extensions in their hair, and it's clear as day that they have all of that added hair in, or they show me an AI photo and like the hair's not real. So it's like
hmm.
trying to find the balance. And I think a lot of these brides are comparing themselves way too much to Pinterest photos and these AI characters that are being created. So then when they see their self or themselves like with the style, they're like, oh, well, it doesn't look the same. And it's like, no kidding, because that's like not a real person. Like you can't
Right.
do. So on my page, I feel like I really try to focus it on the hair so that it's not like, we're comparing this model to, Sally who doesn't like to wear makeup and normally doesn't style her hair. Like it's
Yeah.
not many people who do it all the time. I'm in the industry and I don't do it all the time. But I think you start to like get into a flow like when you like find what works for you. And I think over the last couple years I've really started to like focus in on like those photos and stuff like that and like being more intentional. So it's actually
Yeah.
inspiring for me to hear you say like how you have this like plan that you know you're working on and you have, like an expectation for the business a few weeks out. So like where you're going to
Yes.
be. Did
There's
you
deadlines, and I have to meet them.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who knows the deadlines, but they
Yes.
exist, and that's important. I have reminders on my phone. I
Yeah.
usually in the planning stage, I'll even time block my calendar of like, oh, you know what? I'm already going to have my makeup done that day because I have plans that evening, so I might as well film some
Yeah.
content in the afternoon, or like I try to plan it around my life so that way it doesn't feel too hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I usually will put it in my calendar of like these are the days I'm going to film these videos because at that point I already know what videos I want to film for those 2 weeks that I have to film it. So
Yeah.
it is important, I think, to have deadlines and to actually like meet them because you don't have anyone telling you that you can like push it back or anything like that. And I think that's where like the discipline of being an entrepreneur is so much harder than I think a lot of people like to believe of like, oh, you can just work whenever, you can just, but like when you have like no deadlines or restrictions and you have to create it all yourself, like it can be very challenging.
Yeah, it can be very easy too to like fall into that like, oh, well, like the algorithm's not picking me up. Like I guess I'm doing something wrong, but like what are you gonna do about it? Like are you gonna go and like do the research on like how to like execute that properly so that it ends up being something successful, or are you just gonna hope for the best, you know?
Yeah, I actually just had a video. I posted this video, I want to say in December, and it got about 13,000 views, which I thought was pretty good. Like nothing crazy, but nothing like to scoff at. I literally just reposted the whole video. Caption, text on screen, the video, everything was exactly the same. I reposted it and it's gotten 500,000 views now. Nothing is different. So the algorithm does pick and choose, but you cannot let that like
Like deter you.
define how much work you're going to put in because then there's no rhyme or reason sometimes. Like I
Mhm.
sure I just like posted it on like I don't know, the day the Olympics started. Like I have no idea why it didn't do as well the
Yeah.
first time around. I mean, it did fine, but to have it, nearly 10 times as better, it's like I have no idea why. And
Yeah.
you can't let that algorithm decide your deadlines or decide how much effort you're going to put in.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Do you feel like social media has added pressure to the industry as a whole? Or do you feel like social
Ooh.
media really is like, so, I mean, I personally think it's a resource. Like, it's a great resource to have, especially for our clients, because they can go and kind of find their dream style. But from the stylist perspective, do you think that it adds pressure to the artist?
Hmm. I would say it definitely, like, I agree with you there. It gives like accessibility towards our clients to be able to find us. I would not have the business that I have today if it wasn't for my social media presence. And I'm not even like famous or anything. I'm not big. Like, I have enough followers to be trustworthy. And I think that that's all that our clients really care about.
Yeah.
I would say that as far as adding pressure, I think it just adds more stuff. It adds more things to do on our to-do list. Like I didn't have to post on Instagram 10 years ago to be a fully booked stylist, but
Mhm.
I also would have to know people. And now I don't have to know people. I can just be good at what I do and post about it. So I think it probably adds accessibility more so than pressure. It's accessibility for us to find our clients without having the planner to coordinate it all.
Do you think that there was like one thing in particular that helped you build your platform?
Yes, having a clear idea of who you are, what do you want to be known for, and what your business is. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a bridal hair makeup artist. That's my specialty. I do bridal. But that's still so broad, and there's thousands of them. There's literally probably 100,000 bridal hair and makeup artists in the United States that say like that's their specialty. So how do you decide as a client looking in which one to book? So for me, I really like to specialize in my half up styles. Those are my absolute favorite. I live, eat, breathe half updos. And so that's pretty much all I talk about. If you go on my page, you could scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. You may see one updo in there, but
Mhm.
I pretty much only talk about half up styles because that's what I want to book. That's who I serve. That's the clientele that I would like. And once you start narrowing in, it makes content so much easier because I know exactly what I want to talk about. I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know exactly what their problems are, and I know how to solve them. So then content becomes really, really easy to create. And it's just doing that over and over and over again, which is
Yeah.
boring, but it does like make content creation a lot easier. I think in the beginning, when you're trying to serve everyone and you're trying to talk to everybody and every bride at every price point, at every style, at every type of venue, every wedding, that's when you're like, oh my God, what do I post? What do I say? What do I talk about? But when I've named her. Her name is Veronica. She is my bride. I literally sat down one day with a journal, pen and paper, and I wrote out who Veronica is. What does she do for work? What's her Chipotle order? What is she doing with her
Love
friends?
that.
Like, I know everything about this girl and where she is in the planning process when she finds me and what she wants out of me. I'm talking to her every single time I talk in a video. Every video I post, every story I post is to her. And that just has made it so much easier.
I
So
like
that's my
love
recommendation
that.
for everybody.
I've never
Pen to
really like
paper.
thought of it that way, but that's such a good point because I feel like
Yeah.
it makes you more intentional and it makes you want to put in the extra work because you're like, I know that Veronica's sitting there waiting for me and like, you know what I
She
mean? Like
is, and
that's
she needs the answer. She needs to find
yeah,
me. And
yeah.
like
You
that girl
can't be
exists. So
leaving.
like map it out. Who is she? What is
Yeah.
she wearing? Where did she go shopping? Like I said, what's her Chipotle? Like I literally wrote down her Chipotle order. I kid you not, that is on the list. Like I am writing down the most mundane details about where does she go to the gym? What kind of gym clothes does she wear? Is she wearing her hair in a ponytail at the gym? Is she wearing her socks over her leggings? Like those, like the
So funny.
nittiest, grittiest. I know her. I know her, and she's
Yeah.
my best friend, and that's who my business is here to serve. And it made content creation just a no-brainer. I never have to think about what I'm going to talk about. It's the same thing that I've been talking about for a year. And
Yeah.
Veronica's changed a little bit here and there, but for the most part, she's that girl, and that's the one I'm talking to.
That girl. She's the it girl. Well, we work with all different types of brides, so I feel like it's really important to be intentional, like you said, about like what you're posting and making sure that like, if you don't want to sit there, like post cosmetology school, I was posting like finger waves on my Instagram, and I was like,
Sure.
if anyone came up to me now and was like, yeah, like I want finger waves, like, could I do it? Absolutely.
Yeah, do I
I
want to?
want
No.
to? No. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Those days are gone. So, like, being intentional with what you post so that, like, you're attracting the right people. For a while, I feel like I was just posting everything and it was very chaotic and there was no flow to it. And
I think
honestly,
there's an important part of that too, though, because you have to figure out what you like and what you don't. And the
yeah,
only way to do that is repetition. So I do think if like that's where you're at in your business and in your bridal career, it's still okay to just be posting to post to get in the habit to be seen. Like that's super scary. I remember the first few
yeah,
videos that I made, like talking to the camera. I was like, oh my God, no one look at me. I don't want to hear my
awkward.
own voice. Like this is
Yeah,
terrible. And then after the 20th one, you're just like, yeah, that's great. Sure, post
yeah.
it. Like you just stop caring as much. So even if you haven't figured out exactly what your signature styles are or what you like or what you don't, I do think still posting it is getting your reps in and learning in that way.
I had to be repetitive in order to like get myself to really jump into social media because it took me a while. Like social media was like a thing when I was in cosmetology school, but it wasn't as big as what it is now. Like we have any question, we're immediately on our phone, like on some sort of social platform looking for an answer,
Hmm.
whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if people still use Facebook. But like there's all these different platforms where you can go and ask questions. And unfortunately, like ChatGPT and all these AI robots are kind of ruining that for us a little bit, I
I
think.
don't know. I've gotten my first inquiry through AI.
Wait, what?
Someone was searching in AI for a hair and makeup artist, and I popped up, and
Yeah.
that's how they found me. So
I didn't
people
even
are
know
planning
that was
whole
a
weddings
thing.
in chat.
That's crazy. But also, I'm not surprised.
So that's the future. You know, you can fight it as much as you want, but that is the future. Brides are going to ChatGPT and
Yeah.
asking them to become a wedding planner. Who do I
Yeah.
book? Where do I do this? I'm looking for these kind of things, like who
Wow.
offers this to get a more tailored search than a Google would.
My question is like, how do you become the one that gets recommended in an AI search? Like, how does that work?
Usually it's SEO. So that's how
Okay.
I've ranked so high in chat. Like if you type into chat like best wedding hair and makeup, like I'm gonna come up in chat. And
Okay.
that's because I'm like right now, if you type in like Denver hair makeup, I'm the first one to come up before like there's the sponsored ad ones. I'm the very first one to come up. Now, I think it would be pretty hard to like plan a wedding and looking for hair and makeup in Denver and not come across
Okay.
my page at least.
Is there anything, I mean, I know you kind of talked about like Veronica and how you have like this vision of like your ideal client and like who she is and what she's looking for. How do you handle like if someone inquires and you feel like they really don't match the style that you offer?
I'll be honest, I really don't get a ton of people who like don't want to half up style in a soft
Yeah,
play makeup because that's kind of all I do and all I
yeah.
talk about. Every now and again, I do get someone who's like, "Can you do this style?" Like, I don't see any of these pictures on your page. And I'm honest, I've done the numbers. About 14,000 people get married in Denver every single year. I take on 40 weddings. So I don't have to be a yes man. And I'll tell them, I don't think I'm a good fit, but if this is your style, I'll usually recommend them to somebody else in the area that I know will. I do in my inquiry form provide a spot for them to upload photos of themselves, add their Pinterest, or even just like type out what they're thinking if they know what they like. And that's usually where I'm like sussing out, like, is this a good fit for us? Because I don't want to be stuck doing a bride that I'm like dredging to get to work and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go to this trial, I don't want to go to this wedding when I could have my dream bride. And if I only
Yeah.
need 40 out of that 14,000, it makes it a lot easier to just be like, we're not a good fit, and that's okay. Like, I am not for everyone, I am for Veronica. Like, where is
Yeah.
she? So
Yeah. Oh my
being
gosh.
so clear, it makes it so much
Yeah.
easier to just be like, hey, I don't think we're a good fit. Like, it's not hard for me to say
Yeah.
like, oh, the reason you didn't see that in my portfolio is because I don't offer that service.
Mhm.
So yeah, I find it just when you know those kind of numbers of like, oh, I only need 40 brides when there's 14,000 people getting married, like
There's
I'm
people
good.
out
Go
there.
find someone
Yeah.
else. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there is a bride for every price point, there is a bride for every stylist. Like I'll just send them to someone I know who I know does that style, or maybe is earlier in their career and doesn't have like their signature set styles yet, and like will be saying yes to every bride. Like, just kind of depends on what they're looking for and in what price point.
We're going to transition a little bit here, but one thing that we talk about a lot on the podcast is the real side of the beauty industry. Because people see pretty photos and the finished work, but more often than not, they don't see the things that kind of go into all of that. So, what are some things about this industry that people on the outside don't realize? Like, in your opinion, is there anything that really stands out? The little chuckle says it all, I think. But
Ah, there's so much. There's so much. Like, what do I pick? There's
Mhm.
too many things. No one understands what an AI photo is. I think that that's been the most
Yeah,
just newest hurdle to tackle as a bridal MUA is like that's not a real person. That's
yeah,
not what anybody looks like. She doesn't look like she's not real. And
yeah.
having to navigate that in a tactful way where we were not putting down our clients, I think is really important, at least in my world. I like to be a very inclusive and like intentional artist, and that includes the way that I speak to my clients. I think it's really easy for us to be in our world of bridal hair and makeup artists and see the people on Instagram and TikTok making fun of their clients or making fun of like,
Sure.
oh, of course I charge a travel fee. Look at all the stuff I have to bring, or oh, of course you can't get started at noon when you have 9 people. It's like these are their first wedding. This might be the first
Yeah,
and only time they ever get their hair and makeup done, and
yeah,
they've been looking forward to it forever. And so trying to understand from where they are, like it's really important for me to not just be like, well, that's not real. That's not AI. That's AI. Like that's you can't look like that. Like I don't like talking to my clients that way. And I heard it from other stylists, and it's got to be incredibly frustrating from a client's point of view to like, oh, I want this hair and makeup, and then to be immediately scoffed at for asking for it when they're so
yeah.
excited. They're so excited. We get to do this every day, all day, but you only have one wedding. You only get your hair done once, like
Yeah.
it's the tactfulness, I think, is something that our industry is slowly losing from our internet bubble and our internet world that I really want to like preserve. And so it's been a big tackle or a big hassle, I think, to just like learning how to educate our clients without putting them down.
Would you say, I mean, I know you just got done saying that like AI was a great tool for you because you ended up getting your first like referral through AI. But would you say, like at least from the makeup side of things, that AI is one of like the bigger challenges that you face as an artist today?
Definitely a big one. I think it's just making sure that you're setting the expectations. Like when I get handed an AI photo, my first response is never like, well, this is AI. This isn't real. My first response is always, what did you like about this photo?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that that shows oftentimes what they're looking at. You know, they might say, oh, I love how smooth her face is. Okay, well, that's because she's not real. But
She
if
has no
it's,
pores.
yeah, if it's like, oh, I like the brown eyeshadow. Okay, we can do that. That's
Mm,
real. Like I have real brown eyeshadow we can put on
yeah,
your real eyelids.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think starting there is always like makes it a little bit of an easier transition because yeah, sometimes I do have clients where they sit down, they show me the AI photo, I ask them, what is it that's drawing you to this photo? And they say her smooth face. And I
Mm,
have to explain to them that that's not realistic. And so
yeah,
that has happened so much more, you know, before we had photo retouch. And even
yeah,
before that, we didn't really have a lot of ways of gathering pictures. You could Google and get a celebrity photo, but there wasn't a ton of like hair and makeup artist pictures out there. So, you know, it is just the trend of things is like now we've got AI photos. And I still think you can pull inspo from AI. I don't think that that's like a crazy thing. I think you can understand vibes, you can understand color palettes, you can understand a lot of things based on an inspo photo, which is all they're supposed to be anyway. You can't just like copy and paste. So if we're just
although some
pulling
people
the
might think that we
energy,
can.
oh, sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation, of course. But I also think that, you know, I send out a lot of prep guides and I send out inspo boards even to my clients. So when they fill out the inquiry form on my website, they get redirected to a landing page that has inspiration of my own work, but also Pinterest photos that I have found that I would love to recreate on somebody. So they can A, get an idea of like what kind of styles I like to do, but B, they also have something to grab photos from instead of like leaving it up to chance. They have real pictures, real photos of real people right there at their fingertips the moment they click submit. And I think that that's been really helpful for my clients too.
Now, are you doing that when you're initially booking them, or is it a case where like you have like a Pinterest page that you're like sending them to? Like, what is your strategy there?
So when they go to my website, they'll, you know, scroll through my sales page and get to the inquiry form. They'll fill that out. When they click submit, it'll automatically redirect them to another page on my website, which is private, so you can only get to it if you fill out the inquiry form.
Okay.
And that has kind of like the next step so that they kind of know what to expect from basically like how long out I typically book, how long it takes for me to get to an email, like those kind of things. And
Yeah.
then at the bottom of it, you know, it's the same psychology of like when you go wedding dress shopping and they hand you a glass of champagne, you're more likely to buy something if you're given something. And
Sure.
given doesn't have to be like a money thing, it doesn't have to be a discount, it doesn't have to be a tangible item, just gifted something. And so
Yeah.
that's where I have a link to it. It is a Pinterest board where I have some of my own work and some just Pinterest photos that I liked that match my style and vibe. So that way they can scroll through there of different skin tones, different hair colors, different types of makeup that I like doing. And it's all just right there ready for them while they're still like riding that high. They're excited. They're like, oh, I just reached out. Like we
Yeah.
knocked one more thing off the list. And then they can just
Yeah.
scroll around and pull a couple
And it makes it
pictures.
exciting. I feel like it
Yeah.
definitely like it sets the tone for the entire experience, which I love.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like that's so
Mhm.
important because, again, we are in the age of social media where we're comparing ourselves to everyone that we're scrolling
Yeah.
past on socials, and it's not realistic. Like, not everybody looks like that. And, having some options and different ideas of like, maybe you didn't
What
even
is
know this
realistic?
style.
Yeah, what I can
Yeah, like
do,
maybe
what
you
I
didn't even
can't.
know that this style was a thing, and now you're like
Mhm.
seeing it and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like that would be perfect with the neckline of my dress. I would have never even thought of that." Like
It
you're
gives me more
inspiring
control
them.
over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're inspiring them like before they even get to your chair. So they're already excited. They're already like ready for that entire experience.
Yeah, I'm a big gift giver too, so I love gifts. It's my love language, 100%. And so when a bride does end up booking, I send them a little gift in the mail right away with like a detox shampoo and like a hair gloss and like
Love
those kind of things, so that way they're prepped and ready for wedding day, but they're also still like riding that high of like, oh my gosh, she's thinking about me
thinking
already.
about
Like my
me.
wedding's not for 9 more months and she just sent me this little package in the mail with a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff for her to get ready for the wedding day. So helps me, helps them, and everyone just feels good afterwards because I mean, who doesn't love getting fun mail? So, especially fun mail you didn't even
Yeah.
know was coming.
Exactly. So obviously, like, there's a lot of highs, there's a lot of lows in this industry, but have you ever personally gone through just a season of straight burnout?
Oh, that 300 plus year. That was 2021 for anyone listening.
I can't even imagine.
Post COVID, I was so scared and I just said yes to everything. I had just gone full time into the bridal hair world and quit working for all teams. So that was so scary and I just didn't know what to do. So I just said yes to everything. I was doing like 3 weddings a day, sometimes five, six in a weekend. I didn't have a day
Three
off for
weddings in a day?
months. Yeah, I had
Oh my
multiple
God.
days that I had 3 in a day. No,
You,
girl, it was nuts.
oh, oh no.
We got my reps
My
in. I
my
wouldn't take
back
it
like
back.
tensed up just like thinking about it. Oh my
But
God.
that goes back to my original statement where I'm like, if you charge double, triple, if you had that celebrity client, like what would you be able to do with that extra money? And like now I'm able to create social media. Now I'm able to join these podcasts. Now I'm able to refine my style. I'm able to take classes. Like I didn't have time to live a
Yeah.
life outside of that. I do think it was important for me to get my reps in and like manage at this point now I've managed 750 brides weddings, so that's I think a crazy number, and I learned so much from every single wedding. Even when I was tired and burnt out, I still learned and I wouldn't go back and change it. Wouldn't do it again, but not going back.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. How would you say, like, I mean, obviously, like, burnout can come and look like so many things, Like, it could simply be like you're waking up 4:30 in the morning because you have to be on location at whatever time. You're driving in the car, you're lugging these super heavy bags, maybe you didn't get your coffee that morning. In my case, it's maybe my kid threw up on me as I was getting ready to walk out the door. Like, these things happen. We're real people. But how would you say that overall you protect your energy when you're working? Because I feel like for me, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and flustered. And I do a really good job of not showing that when I'm on location, but sometimes I have to have that like personal reminder for myself. Like, how do you navigate protecting your energy and the overall atmosphere of the experience that you're giving to these clients?
Yeah, I think a lot of it happens prior to even getting there. That was something that I learned a lot when I was doing, my 300 weddings versus my 40 weddings. The experience that I am able to feel so much more just deliberate and intentional about my mornings, whereas before it was very chaotic. It was very, let me rush around, let me do this, let me get you in 30 minutes, like bim,
Yeah,
bap, boom, and done. Whereas now I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to do Sarah's wedding day because at her trial we got to talk about this, and she's picked my favorite style because that's the only style I offer. And like, I just
yeah,
get to be a lot calmer in that setting. I also think there's a lot of trust built between my clients now versus my clients before. My clients before were booking me just to book a hair and makeup artist, whereas now my clients are finding me through social media and they're booking me for me. They book me because they trust that I can deliver. not because they just need a hair and makeup artist. Like they're doing their
Sure.
research and they found someone that they can just like hand over the reins to, which I think alleviates a lot of the wedding morning stress, a lot of the back and forth, a lot of, oh, bridesmaid number two didn't want to get her hair done and now she does, or can you fix this
Yeah.
one little hair? Is it going to stay like that? I really like it when it's like this, when you have that trust already baked into literally everything you do. From the moment you find me, it is apparent that I've been doing this a while, I think.
Yeah.
I have over 150 Google reviews. Every single one of them is 5 stars. Don't have anything below a 5 stars. You go to my Instagram page, you can see like what I've been doing lately and like what kind of styles I do are the exact ones that you do. And I talk about like, okay, she didn't want to do extensions, so here's why it looks like this instead of this. And then we decided to do extensions and now it looks like this. And like talking about all the problems. I think in the beginning I was really afraid to talk about the
Yeah.
problems of things, but I found that people trust me so much more when I'm a little bit more direct and a little bit more blunt about it of like, hey, so you actually can't do that style unless you get hair extensions, or you actually can't have an updo if you have 4 strands of hair on your head and you don't want the extensions, or if you have these tiny little short pieces in the front of your hair, I can't pin them back. Like just saying no creates a level of professionalism that an amateur doesn't have. An amateur is going to be a yes man, a professional will say no. And I think that that's like really flipped how I'm able to present on wedding mornings.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. I had a client today that same exact thing happened where we had to have the conversation of, this is what your expectations are for this style. This is what realistically can be done. And this is what our options are. Like, you can either stick with, your hair the way that it is now, or, we can order you extensions and get you color matched and have this like super full updo that like you wouldn't have been able to achieve with your natural hair. So it's definitely important. And I think the power of saying no is sometimes I still fall into that category of like being that yes man and just saying yes to things because at the end of the day, you want the good review. You want to make sure that that client's happy and that you're doing everything that they want on their day. Um, but I agree with you, like being able to like have a backbone and say no, like it's not going to work and this is why, and like being able to educate them rather than just say no and walk away. You're
Yeah,
giving
education is definitely key.
yeah, and you're giving them an alternative too. Like it's not like you're just shutting it down completely. You're giving them other alternatives like how to, maybe change the style or, change like face framing pieces if like that's what's bothering them, little things like that. So I think that's super important. I feel like social media only shows like one side of people. So I'm always curious about the part that people don't see online. What motivates you to keep going in this industry?
Ooh. I mean, I just absolutely love it. I was like that girl in high school that did everyone's hair and makeup for proms and whatnot. And I just never stopped doing it. And I kept thinking, like, one day they're gonna make me, right? Like, one day someone's gonna be
Yeah,
like, okay, Kate, it's time to get your big girl job. Like,
yeah.
get your little corporate suit on.
Still 9 to 5.
Um, but no one said it yet. We're almost 13 years deep. No one's said it
Yeah,
yet. So I'm still chugging along because I just love it. I love working with people. I love being able to interact with people I normally wouldn't have ever probably met. I love being a part of like such a special day. I love love. I love love so much. So I love hearing everyone's proposal stories and their meet cutes and like the special things that they're doing on their wedding day. I absolutely love hearing all like, gosh, please tell me everything.
yeah.
I want to know every
You're like
detail. Like,
start from the
who did you call
beginning.
after the first date? Like, I
Yeah.
want to know everything
Oh,
about it. Those are my favorite questions. And yeah, I think it's just such a happy experience to be a part of. And I'm an artist at heart, so I still get to create and make a living doing that. It is so fulfilling to me. I just couldn't even, I don't have a backup. This is all I have. This is all I've ever had. Like, I didn't go to college. I have never had another job. I've only ever worked in beauty. I don't know what else I would do if it wasn't for this.
yeah.
So I love it so much. I have to do it. Like I will literally do anything because I love it so much. I don't know. That didn't probably answer your question very eloquently,
No, no,
but
it
that's it.
definitely it did because that when you love your job, you never feel like you're going to work. Like
Mm-mm.
it really is the truth. Like when you are so passionate about what you do, like you will never work a day in your life. Like
It's
you
so
get to
wonderful.
go and just be happy and around happy people who are in love and just in this perfect little bubble. And like even if when you leave, that perfect little bubble disappears and you're going back to whatever situation you're going to, it's almost like that moment of quiet for a little bit. It's like, those videos you see online where it's like, the minute that I'm away from my clients, it's like everything's super chaotic and loud. And then the minute I'm with my client, everything goes quiet. It's like that's
Yeah.
exactly feel. And the way that you're describing, like how it inspires you, I really feel like I relate to that because I tear up like the morning of a wedding. I'm watching the
I've
video, I
cried too many
review her
times.
first look, and I'm like, I've been here for 6 hours. Like, you look so beautiful. Like, I feel like I've known you my whole life, and
Hmm.
we've only met twice. Like people don't understand like the impact that it actually has on us as artists because they think, "Oh, well they do this all the time." So like setting the standard like to be different and offering an experience that not everyone can offer is huge.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I love my job. I couldn't imagine like working at an office or like at a computer. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. And I did it for a while when I was still working for other teams and really like just running myself like into the ground, it felt like, because like you said, 300 weddings, like that's insane. I didn't do that many, but
Girl,
um
I don't know anyone else who's done that many weddings in a
like
year.
300 brought that is insane. I
Uh,
can't even imagine that. Like especially not
yeah.
now. Like with how
No,
chaotic mom life is, like now I can't
sure.
imagine. But again, like when you're younger, like you kind of have that drive to just
I just
like
wanted
go
it. I
for
wanted
it,
it so badly, so I would say yes to anything and everything. And I
Yeah.
still want it just as badly. I don't want it to come off like I don't want it as much because I'm only doing 40 weddings. I want to make those 40 weddings so amazing and just
Yeah.
deliver such a quality service that I wasn't able to give those 300 brides. I wasn't
Yeah.
able to stay for hours, touch up. I wasn't able to hone my skill set. Like the hair and makeup wasn't as good, and it's because I didn't have the time to practice. And now every single week I have a model come into my studio and I practice something new, use a new technique, use a new product every single week. 50 weeks of the year, I will be in my studio working on someone for free. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that you should always be working for free until you physically cannot do it anymore because otherwise you're just stagnant. And as artists, we can't be like that, especially in the wedding world. I think, trends come and go so quickly in the wedding world, but we have to stay on top of it.
Are there any trends that you're like loving right now or hating? Like let's play that game. Is there any that you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy this is stuck around," versus like ones that you're like, "Please for the love of God, stop sharing these pictures. I'm tired of doing them."
Okay, I'm sick. I'm sick, and I'm so glad it's over. I'm so glad it's over. The boho braided bun.
Oh,
I mean, that I still will get a bridesmaid here and there that wants one. But I mean, girl, it's been 13 years of being asked to do a boho braided bun, low bun, texture, couple tendrils in the front. Like we all know those pictures.
that's how I
And
wore my
I'm
hair in
sick of them.
prom, like almost 10 years ago.
Hmm. I mean, that's what everyone was doing 10 years ago for sure. I mean, you look at even like celebrities' red carpets, or I like to pull a lot of my inspo, at least for like upcoming trends. And there's still people pulling those pictures from 2012, 2010, and it's I'm so glad it's dying out. I mean, I get probably one or two a year. I mean, I can knock them out so quick now. I mean, 15 years of practicing that hairstyle, you get kind of good at it, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I
Yeah.
don't want to do them anymore. I
Yeah,
don't want to braid another piece of hair.
I get that. I fully get that. So obviously we know that you like the half up, half down styles, but outside of the half
Mhm.
up, half down styles, or like maybe a certain variation of it, like do you have one that is absolutely your favorite?
Yes. You know the one that it's like the two pieces of hair are just gently pinned. They feel like they're just floating on top.
Mhm.
That one. That one is my dream hairstyle. I love to do it. I
Have
get
you
so
still
excited when I have a
honest
client.
to? That is like my least favorite hairstyle to do. Like,
Wait, why?
do you want to know why? And it's gonna sound so bad. And like to any of my brides who could be listening to this who have done this hairstyle, like I just want you to hear me out, okay? It's a beautiful style, right? It's very beautiful, but not every single person's head shape is meant to have those pieces pulled off. And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
sometimes people will like stop and look at themselves in the mirror and be like, something just feels off. And I'm like, okay, so like, do you want to move it down a little? Do you want to move it up higher? Like, what's your preference? I've had a few brides who, and again, this was what they wanted. Maybe not my cup of tea, but this is what they wanted. They kind of started to give off like Mayor of Whoville vibe. Like people
Oh,
had like thicker hair and they were like hell bent on having a thicker front section pulled back. Some people just have too much hair to do that. And it like
sure.
it would be so thick that when it was twisted back, it like it literally looked like the mayor of Whoville. And they
Yeah, I could
loved
see
it.
that.
They loved it and like it looked good on them. Like it's not that it didn't, but in my brain, like from a creative side, like I always compare to like another shape or like another like I just got done saying we shouldn't compare to like, actors and celebrities and all those things, but like you do. Like when you're like, okay, how am I gonna like replicate this? Like what is the vision? Like sometimes I get locked in and I'm like, I don't want it to look like the mayor of Whoville. So it's like,
Not the
how do
vibes.
we shift? How do we change things? So it's funny that you said that that was your favorite one. You'll have to
My
like,
favorite
we'll have to do a Zoom
one.
call a separate time and maybe you could give me some tips and tricks because
Yeah, because there definitely is some that you're like, oh, that's not it. Like it's it, but it's
mhm.
not it. And you're like, how is
Yeah,
it not it? Because I'm doing all the right things. Because it's sometimes as small as just like, how much did you twist it? Which
yeah,
direction did you twist it? Did you pull it up? Did you pull it down? Is it straight across? How much hair did you pull back? How much hair is
yeah,
still dangling down? Do you have a little earpiece in the front? Like there's so many little variations to that, which is one of my favorite things. When I do that style, not gonna lie to you, it is up, down 15 times every single time. I am tweaking that to hair by hair, I swear to
yeah.
God.
So perfect. Because that's one of
Yeah.
those styles that like looks so effortless, but it really does like take such a special eye to be able to like perfect that detail.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's like one hair out of place and you'll notice it. You'll
Mhm.
notice it in that style because it's so simple. Whereas like your boho braided bun,
Yeah.
you could whip that up and it could look different every single time and it's going to look so good on everybody. And that's probably why it's been around for literally forever. Whereas this style, it's like one hair is out of place, that's all you're going to see.
No, I completely agree with you. So you do so many weddings. Is there any wedding morning that sticks out to you as like the
Ah,
craziest
yeah.
wedding morning you've ever had? I like need to know.
Yes. Yes. I've done so many. And this is everyone's favorite question to ask. And for the longest time, I did not have an answer for it because they were like, oh, tell me about a bridezilla. Tell me about your crazy wedding stories. And I'm like, I don't have one. I don't have one. And now I finally do. And I feel like it's like a rite of passage. Okay, so this
Yeah.
happened, I want to say back in 2021 when I had like that crazy year.
Yeah.
And I was working at an Airbnb and she wanted to hide from her, well, husband, but they were all staying in the same Airbnb. So we set up in the laundry room, which was absolutely huge. So I was totally fine with it. So we're in the laundry room. I got all my stuff set up. I'm like finished bridesmaid number one, hair and makeup, and now I'm moving on to bride. Bride sits down in my chair and the pipe above us burst.
Oh
Me, bride,
no.
soaked. Okay, and it is just gushing. Thank God, clean water, but gushing. Like we're gonna flood the
Oh
house, gushing.
no.
Okay, tell me why. Husband, plumber. His three best friends, plumbers. So they went and fixed the plumbing. Well, I am telling my bride to go shower, and I like thank God my kit was like away far enough that it didn't like get
Hey,
really
yeah.
wet, and so we could just move on with wedding day. Because what a crazy story, and what are the odds that four people in the house are plumbers? Because it was an Airbnb, so it's not like the people
Yeah.
who like lived like they had no. way of getting
They may
into
not
like
even
the
live in the same
planning.
state. Like a lot of
No, and
people
it was like
like
a
literally,
holiday weekend, like no one was
yeah.
answering their phones, and so the guys just did it. They just fixed
Oh my
something
God.
on wedding morning. And yeah, I mean everything ended up fine. I always book extra time in the schedule because you never know what happens. Wasn't
Yeah.
obviously planning on that, but we got her done in time. Everything was truly as perfect as it could have been. So it's not even like a crazy story in the fact that like nothing like didn't work out, but it's crazy in the fact that like obviously no one was I mean, it was raining inside at one point.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
then they all had to go to the other Airbnb that like I think some of like the bridesmaids or like extended family might have had to like go shower because they had to turn off all the plumbing. So the bride had to like leave, go shower, come back. I like worked on a bridesmaid and then got her all done up. So that's my crazy story.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good
I feel
ending, I
like
think.
I have so many, but I always tell the same one because it's still to this day, like I just can't even get over it. So I did a wedding in Philly one time. It was for another company that I freelance for. It was taking place. Our start time was very early, right? Like our arrival time, I think, was like 6:15 or 6:30. And then I think our start time was maybe like 6:45, but it was before 7. So I live like 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia. So it was super easy commute in, so close to where I need to go. And police start barricading like 60 blocks because apparently the Philadelphia bike race was happening. And this was happening at a Ritz-Carlton, mind you. Okay. So like high-end
Planner couldn't call
venue.
you and just double check that you knew.
You know that shame on this event planner, truthfully, because she ended up like adding so much stress to the bride. I don't know if she was like through the Ritz or if it was through like a different company or what, but she just added so much stress to this bride. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
we were so far away at this point. Like they basically had to like make us drive around. You're not from Philly, so like you're not as familiar with like the area, but like anyone who's listening to this that is from the area, like I started on Broad Street and somehow ended up all the way at the art museum, which is like
So
total
far.
different part of the city. Like not it, yeah, I got all twisted and turned around and they had all these roads shut down because it was like a 10-mile bike race. So long story short, I'm like calling the owner of this company that I'm freelancing for, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've never been in this position before. Like, I physically cannot get there. She's like, get as close as you can, find the closest parking lot, and just park and walk. Yes. Because that's just what needed to be done. Like, at this point, I had been driving around for over an hour. I'm way past my start time. Now, mind you, the second artist that's coming on location is dealing with all of these same issues, right? And I'm like, I know Philadelphia very well, but not well enough to like give her instructions on like where to go. So I'm like, listen, like if you happen to drive past like police officers, like ask them like to give you directions. Like that's what I did. And they ended up getting me back to kind of where I needed to be. I had like a 20-minute walk all the way to this place. I get there. Obviously, the bride is not happy at
Yeah,
all
panicked.
because everyone was late. It wasn't just
Of
him, like
course.
everyone was late. So I'm like, you know what? And I called her on the way and I said, listen, when I get to the venue, we'll start with you so that that way your service is done, you're ready to go, and we will absolutely get everybody done, like all the bridesmaids, moms, whoever. She said, okay. She sits down in my chair when I get there. Now, this is like oh my God. I was so like flustered and also just on top of it, like I know like especially you having two kids, you understand like the physical toll that this job takes on your body. So like I'm like walking in these like boot heels, like trying to look
Hmm.
professional. Like by the time I got there, like I felt like I had ran a marathon. Like that
Sure.
it was rough. And she sat down in my chair and I was so excited to do her style. And she goes, oh, by the way, like I had Bellamy hair extensions for our trial, and I'm thinking, oh no, like what are you gonna say? And she goes, but I found this extension piece from Sheen and I really want to use it because I like the bounce of the curl. And I'm thinking, oh my
Was she
God.
wanting a ponytail? What?
It wasn't a ponytail. It was like all down and like a wave, but she wanted it to be more of like a bouncy, like blowout curl. And
Okay.
her hair would not have just held a blowout. Like she had texture to her hair, and like even adding in the extensions that she was using, like obviously you know all the prep work that goes into that. I had her prep everything and she was all ready to go. Like it would have I could have replicated the style without the $10 extension piece, but she
Mm-hmm.
was very persistent about using it. And I had to have that hard conversation with her of being like, listen, if this is the route you want to take, we can totally use these, but I can't put heat to them. Like it's synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm. It's
literally
plastic.
I was taking dry shampoo and just spraying the piece, trying to make it kind of have that grittier look so that it matched a natural hair texture and it wasn't as shiny. Like I pulled out every trick that I could have thought of. And then she asked me if we could cut them, and I was like, to be honest, like I'm a little after the style was done, she said, "Are we able to cut them a little bit?" And I was like, the only thing I'm afraid of is like with these synthetic pieces is like if we cut them, I don't know how the synthetic hair is going to react. So like you
Yeah, it
may
could
lose that
fray.
curl completely. It could fray, it could frizz. Like I don't know what it's going to do. She walks over to the full length mirror with a pair of kitchen scissors and just starts hacking away at these extensions, and I'm like, honestly,
How does she know she's not cutting her own hair? That's so scary.
I don't think she did. And I said to the mom, because the mom was standing there, I was like, be so honest with me right now. Like, should I go and have a conversation with her? And she was like, no, I think at this point, like, she's gonna do whatever she wants. So it was just a matter of like she
Mm.
had a vision. And
Yeah.
I said to her, I'm like, in any other case, like if you were using like human hair extensions, absolutely, I would have cut them for you. But like the day of your wedding is not the day that we're going to take that chance. And we've already hit a few hiccups that I wish we could have avoided already. So like, I don't want to be the one to do that and then potentially ruin it, you know? So she ended up being okay, but like it was easily one of like the roughest mornings.
Yeah, that I didn't even know what I would do. The fact that you like kept your composure.
Oh, and honestly, when the second artist got there, because that was the thing, like I got there as they were blocking everything off. So when this other artist got there, she couldn't even get in as close to the venue as I had gotten. So she ended up being even later than I was. And I will say, we still ended on time, like earlier than we were supposed to. And the event
Yeah.
coordinator's coming up to us later being like, yeah, like I don't know how you guys did that. Like that was impressive. And I'm thinking
Yeah, no
like,
thanks to you. Why didn't you let
it
everyone?
would be real impressive if you knew how to do your job so that I wasn't in this position. But
That's like the whole
again,
point is to make sure everything runs smoothly, including knowing when the streets are closed. I've gotten that
yeah,
text plenty of times because up here we'll
yeah,
do controlled avalanches up the mountains, so that way like we don't get avalanches all winter long. And so they'll do the road closures and they'll do the avalanches. And I've gotten those texts plenty of times. So make sure you leave early
yeah,
enough or go a different route because they're closed for avalanches and like that's
crazy.
like their number one job is to make things smooth.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And
That's
Philly,
crazy.
like, again, like I know you're not from the area, but like the Ritz Carlton is like, they're on it. Like they're one of those like
Hmm.
high end venues. So like I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that like this bike marathon was literally passing their venue, but they had no idea that it was happening. Like, sounds a little sus to me, but.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, we have a lot of beauty professionals who listen to this podcast, especially artists who are newer in the industry. Is there anything in particular, advice-wise, that you would give to artists who are just starting out?
Yes, do it all. Don't say no to anything until you totally know. I never thought that this was even a career when I was in beauty school. I hated doing updos. I just I thought I didn't like them because I wasn't good at them because I hadn't gotten my reps at it. It's so hard to be bad at something as an adult, and I don't think we have a lot of opportunities to be bad at things as adults. Or I should say we have a lot of opportunities to not be bad at things. You can just quit. So I think just say yes to everything. Do the free shoots, go meet the photographers, work with other artists,
Network.
see every avenue, see every niche, see every style, and hone in after the fact.
Yeah, no, I
Definitely.
agree with you. I can't even tell you how many times, like when I was first starting out, that like I would be asked to do like commercial work, or I even did like a music video, which was crazy. I was like in it, but also like learning from the side. Funny enough, the artist who ended up doing the hair and makeup for that shoot, I ended up working for her years later, and I had no idea that like I had met her that day. Like I knew, but like I didn't put two and two together when I was applying to work for her that she had been on set that day. And again, it's like all about just networking. Like people remember your.
Hmm.
I walked into that interview and I was super pregnant, so I had like mom brain. And I walked in and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I know you." And I was like, "How?" Like it didn't click, you know? And she was like, "Oh, like you were on the set of that video." And it just all clicked and I was like, "Wow, like that was something that like I probably wouldn't have normally said yes to, but I'm so glad that I did." And
It's
like
so important.
it opened me up to so many other avenues in the industry. And again, like being that yes man initially is so important, I think, because you end up getting new experiences under your belt. And also, you get to explore different avenues that you didn't even know were a thing. Like before choosing bridal, I didn't know bridal was a specific, like, specialty that I could
Yeah,
work in, you know? So
same.
to be able to have like different opportunities, like I've done hair for sports newscasters and people at New York Fashion Week. And, I've put the time in just to be in the same room as some of these people.
Yes.
And I think that's like something that like there's opportunities out there everywhere for these things. And I think so many people are like, "Oh, well, I have to wait for them to come to me." That's not how that works. Like you have to put the
Mm-mm.
time in, you have to find the opportunities. You have to find your Veronica. It's like I love that so much. I'm gonna start saying that. Like maybe I'll come up with a different name for my ideal bride, but I love that. I love that. Like
It's so
being so
helpful. It's so
intentional.
helpful because I'm doing everything for her. It's
Yeah,
not for everybody, and that's okay because I have her and I know she
yeah,
exists out in this world and I know there's 40 of her. I know there's 40 of her. I don't need a
yeah,
million or I need 40. So
yeah,
it narrows down everything, which just takes away all the noise, all of the,
yeah,
oh, post at this time and you need to use these hashtags. Like it takes away all of that. Because if
yeah.
you're clear on who you are and who you serve, those people will be able to connect.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Is there anything early on in your career that you wish someone would have told you?
Get the makeup light. Just get it, buy it. It's expensive and you don't
Yeah,
want to, and you're going to try every cheap one on Amazon. Just buy the nice one. It's worth it. Now I can't
yeah,
imagine doing it too now.
yeah.
Can't
Do you
imagine
use a
doing it without.
specific brand or?
It's called the Makeup Light, the
Oh,
TML.
okay.
Yeah,
I know
but
nothing
it's
about
either
makeup. I'm like so.
there's the
I'm
makeup light
honestly
and there's
like
the
every
glam
makeup
core
artist's
light.
worst nightmare.
Yeah, there's two like main brands, and then there's like the newer ones, which are very nice. I've never tried those. Those came out later, but I bought my makeup light 2020, I think. And first off, now I have two, and it's never died. I use it every single day.
Yeah,
Literally every content I film, every client I work on, I use it
yeah,
all the time, and it's like just helped so much. And I didn't realize how much I needed it until I started using it, and now I can't live without it.
yeah.
So buy the
No, well,
light, buy
that's
the nice
good to
one.
know that it's worth the investment. That's how I feel about like my hair kit. Like I have tried every type of bag. I've tried the rolling bags. I've tried like I right now I'm using like a backpack that has like a heat safe section in it for all my hot tools and like everything fits in it perfectly and then anything that doesn't fit in there I have in a Bay's weekender bag. But even that it's like those bags get heavy. So it's like trying
Hmm.
to find like, the things that are like worth the investment. It's like, okay, well, I could get, I know that new bag that just came out from Design Me. Oh my God.
Yes, I've been
Love
eyeing it
it.
too,
The
but I'm a
pink.
suitcase girly. I need a
Yeah.
wheel.
Hmm. Well, my thought with that, because, let's talk about that, because that's like a trendy thing that's happening right now, like in our world, like in the artist world, is that this new bag came out. And I've seen a lot of reviews on it, to be honest. I've looked at a lot of reviews because I want to hear from artists. Like I don't want to hear from people who are just buying it to buy it. And a lot of artists are saying that it works for them, but they feel like they don't have enough space. My issue now is that
Mm.
my bag is too big and I feel like I need to hone in on like certain, like I have a plethora of products, right? I don't stick to one brand. I use all of them. But obviously I have certain things that I prefer over others. And I think every single product has a purpose. So the idea of not having that one product that maybe I'm trying to like downsize and like pull it out of my kit to make it more accessible for me, like that gives me anxiety. Like potentially not being prepared for that one client who might need that product. Um, but that's good to know that you like are a suitcase girly. I'm trying to like transition into that because I think it would be better for my back. And if that pink bag ends up being in the works, I'm trying so hard to get them to send me one. I've
Well, it
asked.
fits with your brand too. It also doesn't fit with my brand, so it was a very easy no for me
Yeah,
because I'm such an aesthetic girly that I'm like all of like the stuff in my kit, like the bags and stuff, like my
yeah,
chair even, like I have branded mirrors, like all of it is so
yeah,
aesthetic that the pink would be jarring in my world because my
yeah,
world's all brown. Everything is black,
yeah,
brown, cream, and like the touch of yellow, but it's
yeah,
basically just browns. So yeah, I was pretty bummed when it came out and it was just in pink.
yeah. I'm kind
You
of
were
hoping that they
ready.
come out. The other thing too is like having all of these products, like I've never not had a black kit. So like
Oh,
trying
I have
to
a whole brown kit.
oh
I'm all
really?
brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a cream kit 2 years ago, and then I just upgraded to a July suitcase for like all the odds and ends, bits and bops of like my lighting, my hair kit, and anything that
Yeah.
doesn't fit in the makeup kit. And then my makeup kit I upgraded this year to a espresso étoile bag, and I'm obsessed with it. It's beautiful.
Okay. Is there one piece of advice, like if you could tell anything to your younger self, what would it be?
Mm. That it will be okay. You can just keep doing this. Like, you
It gets
don't have to do
easier.
the corporate job. You
Yeah.
can just do art for a living. I've always
Yeah.
been an artist in different ways, and I always thought one day it would die. And like, it didn't. I'm still doing art. Like, yes, I'm doing a lot of business end of things and content creation and whatnot, but I'm still an artist, and I still get to say that as my title. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you can keep doing it.
And it gets easier. It definitely gets easier once you get consistent and, kind of have like a better idea of how to navigate things. In the beginning, it's very chaotic. It can be scary to like take that leap of faith, I think.
Totally, because I
Yeah.
wasn't good, like I had to
Well,
put in
no
the
one
reps and it was
is,
okay that I wasn't good. Like I was in the beginning, that's all right. You just charge less and you
Yeah.
get better and you practice and you understand, learn, you get more knowledge.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
for sure. All right, you guys. Before we wrap up, shout out to Luigi's Pizza Fresca, our full season sponsor and home of the Blue Pizza. If you've got an event coming up or honestly just need really good food, their catering is incredible and they're open 7 days a week, which just makes it too easy. You can call their Marlton location at 856-810-8888 on Old Marlton Pike. Trust me, it is so worth it. So, if you guys love this episode, make sure you check out Cate and follow her work, especially if you're in the Colorado area. She's incredibly talented, and I know that you're going to love everything she's creating because I know I am. And if you want to keep up with me outside of the podcast, you can find me on Instagram at Hair by Cash Jordan, where I'm sharing bridal work, behind the scenes of the industry, and a little bit of life in between. And if you're enjoying Pinned Up and Burned Out, it would mean so much if you took a second to follow the show and leave us a review or rating. It really helps the podcast grow and helps new listeners find us. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode of Pinned Up and Burnt Out.